The evolution of the Springbok Emblem. The Springbok Emblem has undergone several transformations over the years, reflecting both the evolution of South African rugby and the country's broader historical changes. Here is a breakdown of each emblem era and its significance. 1906 to 1936, the first Springbok Emblem. The first official Springbok emblem appeared on the jerseys of the 1960 South African touring team to the UK. It featured a simple leaping Springbok facing left with minimal detail. The emblem was designed as a way to create a distinctive South African identity for the team. The Springbok was placed on a dark green jersey with gold trim, a color scheme that remains to this day. 1937 to 1962. A more defined and symbolic Springbok. By 1937, the emblem had evolved into a more detailed and structured Springbok. The leaping Springbok now faced right, and its stance was more aggressive, symbolizing strength and determination. The design became more refined, with additional anatomical details such as muscle definition and improved antlers. This emblem was worn during South Africa's dominant years in World Rugby, cementing its recognition. 1963 to 1964. The addition of the wreath. In 1963, a golden laurel wreath was introduced around the Springbok, symbolizing victory and prestige. The emblem now had a more official and royal appearance, emphasizing South Africa's dominance in the sport. This version, however, was short-lived, as changes came soon after. 1965 to 1991. The laurel wreath was removed, and a more simplified and streamlined Springbok design was introduced. The Springbok was now placed inside an oval border, giving it a badge-like appearance. During this time, the emblem became highly controversial, as it was seen as a symbol of South Africa's segregated sports system under apartheid. Despite the controversy, this emblem remained in use until the early 1990s, 1992 to 1996. With South Africa's return to international rugby in 1992, changes were made to the emblem to reflect the country's new democratic era. The oval border was removed, and the Springbok once again stood alone, symbolizing a fresh start. The emblem was slightly refined, with more natural colors and a sleeker, modernized look. This emblem was worn when South Africa famously won the 1995 Rugby World Cup, making it an iconic part of history. 1996 to 2003, the integration of the Protea. Following discussions on national symbols, the South African Protea, the national flower, was introduced alongside the Springbok. This change aimed to acknowledge South Africa's new identity, while still maintaining the historical significance of the Springbok in rugby. The emblem now featured a Protea above the Springbok, signaling a move toward unity and inclusion. This version lasted until 2003, when further national standardization of emblems was introduced. 2003 to 2008, the dual emblem era begins. In 2003, the South African government ruled that all national sports teams should use the Protea as the primary emblem. As a compromise, rugby was allowed to keep the Springbok, but it was moved to the right side of the jersey, while the Protea became the official emblem on the left. This version marked a significant shift in how the emblem was viewed, no longer just a rugby symbol, but part of a broader national identity. 2009 to present. The Springbok emblem underwent further refinement in 2009, resulting in a more stylized and minimalist design. The Protea remains the official emblem, but the Springbok continues to hold historical and cultural significance in South African rugby. Today, the Springbok remains on the right chest of the jersey, while the Protea remains on the left, representing the balance between rugby tradition and national unity. This emblem has been worn during South Africa's 2019 and 2023 Rugby World Cup victories, solidifying its place in history. The evolution of the Springbok emblem mirrors South Africa's own transformation, from its early sporting traditions through the divisions of apartheid and into the modern era of inclusivity. Despite changes over the years, the Springbok remains a powerful symbol of South African rugby, standing for excellence, resilience, and passion. What do you think of the changes to the emblem over time? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to Rugby Addicts for more in-depth rugby history, analysis, and breaking news.